All right, welcome back, folks. FACEIT Season 2 LAN Finals here in Milan, Italy. We're gonna, before we get into Map 2, iBUYPOWER, Dignitas. Obviously, huge lead. Cloud9 just tried to do the same thing. They did really good that first half, 12-3 on cash. Almost gave it all back. You guys watched more of that match than me. Let's talk a little bit about that, because obviously Cloud9 did just squeak out the win, 16-11, but very, very close.
Unfortunately, the scoreline is the problem here, because we described the number of rounds you need. Cloud9 had an amazing T half. They won 12 rounds on cash on T side, which is that's one of the hardest sides in the whole game right now in Counter-Strike Go. So in theory, you've done the hard part. Now you're definitely going to close it out 16-6, 16-8, something like that. You're going to have a solid lead. Unfortunately for them, they let Virtus.pro get back in the game. So even though they've now won like 16-11, you played one of the harder maps and you've actually given up too many rounds to the opponent. So now it's going to make it very tough going into the next game, because now, think about it, the only maps really left to try and get a huge lead on that, because they're going to get to pick next, is something like Nuke maybe, if it's left open. Now, if I'm actually the guys from Virtus.pro, I'm just going to ban Nuke for sure, because I'm going to get that right out the map pool, not worry about it. Probably going to ban Cash and Nuke actually. I'm going to try and get onto Mirage, Inferno, Dust 2. On these maps, I've got a really good chance to get to that, you know, without worrying about too much of that. So, yeah, I'm actually a bit... It's a really great win for Cloud9 in a vacuum,
yeah.
But then once we go into this tiebreaker thing, now, yeah, you might have caused yourself a few problems by not being able to close it out early enough.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, the round difference is all that matters here, pretty much, assuming these splits. I actually think Virtus.pro will remove Season, because that's the map they got knocked down on by the Complexity team that is now Cloud9, except for Shroud at ESEA Finals.
You're trying to get us to do it again.
No, no, why, me, what? I think they're going to remove Season, and I also think they're going to remove Nuke, because it would just be dumb to leave it in and just leave yourself vulnerable to starting on T side, having a rough half. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough to keep Virtus at less than 12 rounds.
I mean, I don't want to fanboy too much, but if by chance 2 North American teams make this semifinal, that is pretty kind of crazy, right?
Scott, anytime you start anything with, well, I don't want to, but you
but
may
you are
not say that.
Yeah, I mean, again,
it comes off the same way.
They both have their work cut out of them. It's not, I mean, maybe iBUYPOWER, pretty much maybe a guarantee. Cloud9 not so much. So we'll see. This match, though, we've got the maps for this one. Obviously, Dignitas is in a bad way. They have Mirage and Overpass were banned by iBUYPOWER, and Dignitas did exactly what you guys kind of said they probably would do. They have picked Nuke. So this is probably the most important knife round in the history of CSGO, because obviously they want that CT side.
I'm not sure about the history of CSGO.
Okay,
you might have
calm
down.
Knife round, just a knife round though.
You might be a bit too much of a homer at that point.
No, but normally they're throwaways,
okay.
right? Like, it doesn't necessarily matter, except on this map. This map it
Within
matters.
the context of knife rounds alone, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Thoughts on it?
I think it was a big mistake by iBUYPOWER to even leave Nuke in the pool. They got trashed by Dignitas on Nuke at EMS1, and well, it was a long time ago. It was without swag, but still, I think it's a mistake to leave it in. That's the one map where it's actually very possible for Dignitas to just rack up a 14-1 first half if they start CT. So I just don't understand why you would take that risk.
Yeah, I mean, I said before, I thought that Dust 2 was actually a pretty solid map for iBUYPOWER. Like, I didn't mind it in terms of the Dignitas guys. I wouldn't have let them go to it myself. So I think it's really dangerous to put it on a Nuke here. First of all, Nuke is a map that you can run up this huge amount that you need. At the moment, when you're up 16-3 and you've got this tiebreaker situation, it's close to impossible to lose, actually. You have to almost get shot out completely. You've picked one of the only maps in the game that can happen on, and it happens to be Dignitas' best ever map, and they're amazing on CT side shutouts. So you're almost tempting fate by doing it, you know. In fact, I actually feel like in this series, before I saw this map here, I would have said even with Cloud9 winning, I still felt like Virtus can win the next one, and that's very doable. But I would have thought here, no, iBUYPOWER have done it. Like, they've closed it out, very impressive stuff. I was already preparing my excuses, Scott. I was going to be like, well, how do I frame it now? You know, North America's beating Europe, so I guess, you know, the jet lag from traveling from Denmark to Italy, that's really bad. You know, they don't get to practice against North American teams a lot, because they don't go to North American lands very often. You know, I already had my excuses prepared, Scott, but I think it might be a turnaround here.
Plus, you just know the internet is so bad in Denmark. They have the constant DDoSing issues.
They usually play on too low pings, so sometimes when there's problems at events, they're not used to it. It's just, you know, it's unfair. It's unfair.
Scott can probably continue for a couple more minutes just from what he's heard over the years.
No, I've got nothing left to say to that, actually. we're going to find out what happens. Again, do or die for both teams. GoTV is running for that other match, so obviously you can watch that. But we're going to do iBUYPOWER, Dignitas. Winner goes on based on rounds, and loser's going to go home. Kind of a cool thing, though. No matter what, these two teams that leave today go home with $2,000, and this is where the jump starts. Make it in, you got at least $5,000 in your pocket, then possibly 10 grand or 20 grand for the finals. So nice little payday no matter what, but obviously 2 grand, 5 grand, they want to win, right? It's when you get to those bigger numbers that you're okay with a little maybe not winning. But so they obviously all want to go forward. That being said, Red Eye and DDK are going to take you through this final match, iBUYPOWER Dignitas.
Thanks very much to all of the guys on the analysis desk. Some nice burns by Thorin there, actually. 16-3 from the first game. So I don't know how we do this, because if iBUYPOWER now win 4 rounds, that's it, it's GG. We might as well just stop the game.
I'm more worried about, does this mean that we have to commentate a knife round now? Do we have to
I think we might have to do it
actually
seriously. We might have to do a knife round.
I mean, is this a thing right now?
Well, for the first time in my entire life, might actually have to commentate on a knife round professionally, and we are about to get underway. This knife round, Scott called it the most important knife round in Counter-Strike history. I'm not sure I would agree with quite that level of importance, but it is a massive knife round. This decides who starts on CT side. iBUYPOWER versus Dignitas in the knives. And here we go for the hack and slash, the prison yard bash. Who strikes first in the kidneys? And,
I mean,
you can tell already that this is a really important knife. You'll see the timer at the top of the screen. We've got 60 minutes to get through this knife round.
You think we'll use all of it?
I think it might be over a bit sooner than that. We've had a 1-for-1 so far.
Just as long as Na'Vi aren't in the knife round, we're fine. Those 60 minutes won't all be used.
There is something in fighting games, we were talking about it last night, actually, called turtling. And there's been quite a lot of that so far. But Dignitas now have a man... Well, do they have a man? They don't have a man advantage.
It's all about the stats.
Well, they do, because
hello,
there's a
who's
fourth man
that?
on the right-hand side. Yeah. See, we can't see the overlay, so we don't actually know how many people are alive. But there are 4. Now there are 3. Now it's a 3v3. There we go. There's
and they're all
overlays.
stabbed. They're all stabbed as well.
They are all stabbed once. We've actually played 1 minute and 20 seconds of the knife round.
And we've taken every second of it seriously.
Yeah, longest knife round in history, almost.
Yes. Well, the tension is
almost
palpable.
conferred. 90 seconds in. Skadoodle gets one. aizy back with another one. It's now a 2v2. They're very close to each other right now. Now, can they try and gang up on one of these two players? They can get one. They can't get another. It's come down to a 1v1. It's Swag versus aizy. No. And Swag takes the round. And iBUYPOWER win probably the most important knife round in their entire career. And iBUYPOWER will now start on the CT side.
That was another one-on-one that aizy didn't deliver on. It's much more acceptable with knives than the previous situation, but still, of course,
another huge round from Swag.
Imagine how you would feel in their position right now, and Dignitas just losing the knife. Wait, did they just? I think Skadoodle just made them stay on T for some benign reason.
What?
Now.
Okay, so.
Now this could be sportsmanship to a unreasonable level, or this could
could just be stupidity.
Or he's cracked. He's finally cracked. I mean,
his teammates have actually said in chat he's trying to throw.
They want the drama.
They are going for I throw power.
You know what? This is brilliant because they're trolling themselves.
I buy throws.
And every fan that they have.
I'm genuinely shocked. What on earth is going on?
I don't
you win the most important knife round in your entire history.
And they took that seriously.
On a CT biased map, which you only need 4 rounds on.
Scott's beside himself. Are they switching now?
Are they switching?
Okay, now
they are switching.
Okay.
All right.
It's all okay. It's all okay. It was all a big misunderstanding there.
Wow.
It was a big troll. Big troll. We fell for it, Red Eye. We fell into the little trap.
I just got massively trolled by iBUYPOWER.
I know. They're good at that, though. That's part of their charm.
You swines. You wait until I see Steel.
Steel is the most awesome troll ever.
He is an awesome troll.
He's also
on this occasion,
nice guy.
I'm miffed with him. He's like I don't know. He's some sort of aficionado of trolls or something, but he's not getting away with that whatsoever. I'm going to have words with him afterwards.
You're going to need to construct a much bigger troll to get him back.
Okay. We're currently paused.
This is one of those cool situations which doesn't really happen. I mean, you can't really say that this happens. That you have this situation where a team needs to win the knife round.
Yes.
There's a ridiculous.
Yes.
And already, okay. The other thing is a situation where iBUYPOWER is on the verge of knocking out Dignitas as well. That doesn't happen. And
they're still being light-hearted as well in the chat, even though there's a lot of tension there for both teams.
Yeah, and
for different reasons.
And how did they leave? I mean, this is a really good point that the analyst brought in. How the hell was Nuke left in? Why was that not vetoed?
Yeah.
So many questions and no answers.
Well, I guess there is the thing that iBUYPOWER maybe thought, well, if we win the knife round and we start CTs, then oh well,
then it's
GG.
really, then it's just oh my god.
Then it's over faster, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but not really.
Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe they were trying to be kind. Maybe they're trying to get this over with quickly. You know, like a slow death is painful, right?
It could be. Maybe they just wanted to finish
fast.
Maybe.
I mean, now they're CTs. They win pistol. They then win the next two.
Maybe
they have to win one more round.
It could be because the last time they lost, as it was pointed out, it was to Dignitas on Nuke.
Yep.
So maybe they want to
Revenge?
redeem that. Yeah, revenge.
Redeem.
Redemption, revenge. I don't know. It's a quest for something, but we're still trying to work out if anything of any one of those makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. We are in the middle of a pause, so we're still waiting to go back. There's actually a really cool terrorist outside right now. The window on the right-hand side,
I've seen that cosplay before.
There's some cosplay outside, which is absolutely fantastic, and they've actually got some Counter-Strike cosplay, which is relatively limited, admittedly. I mean, there is not a lot you can choose from.
But our friend, quite menacing, actually.
But our friend has gone for the full terrorist look.
The full mask.
The full mask, indeed.
The full white mask.
Not the comedy masks that we've currently got in the game either, but the old style white one. I think they were French, right? French terrorists?
I think so, yes. Yeah. Is it like the GIGN? I can't remember. I don't remember.
Struggling now.
Because I used to, when you were in 1.6, I don't know, I remember it more, like picking the skins and then seeing the like little bios and stuff.
I honestly, I made all the skins the same.
You made I did that too.
I hate the skins.
Which skin for you? Was it Arctic Warfare? Was that the T skin for you? The one, the guy with like the huge white jacket.
No, I mean it depended on the map as well, because some maps were better than others.
That's true.
Showing
That's
up,
very
so
true. Yeah.
If you could change them, I was kind of lame like that. And
no, man, you got to
get.
It
felt a bit like I was cheating a bit because I was changing the skins and stuff. But you see, back in the old days, you could actually use bright skins as well. Which
I was
really
going to say, you come from UT and Quake.
That was definitely a hack in CT though. Back in the day, using bright skins. But yeah, UT and Quake, they were fine, right? Bright skins were the norm; they were accepted. But in Counter-Strike, of course, I went from Quake and Unreal Tournament in 2001 and started playing Counter-Strike, and I was like, "There's no bright skins. That's weird." So of course, I went to a website and downloaded some bright skins, thinking they were perfectly legal, and of course, they were not perfectly legal. It was frowned upon quite a lot.
Did you download some like hit beeps as well? That was like the most satisfying thing ever about Quake. If you've never played it, is that when you hit someone.
Are you really going down a Quake road right now on a Counter-Strike stream?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's
guys.
okay. I've got a pen and I can use it.
Oh no, please.
I'll stab him for you. I know, but
we lost the grenade, so
we did lose the grenade. I was really disappointed with the grenade loss. I was actually watching you guys last weekend doing Star Ladder coverage, and every now and again, James would pick it up and he would just be sat there playing with the grenade, and I'd be just like,
it's now the moment.
Yeah, and I actually thought, right, when I go to FACEIT, I'm going to pick the grenade up. I'm just going to be playing with it at the end segment, and then I'm just going to take the pin out and hand the grenade to you and see what your reaction would be. You'd just be like,
I'd probably like launched it through the preview monitor. That would probably happen.
It wasn't a real grenade, by the way, but it looked terribly good.
Don't ruin them. You just ruined the magic.
Did I?
That's the stream magic.
I take the veil down on this stuff.
Yeah.
There's no wizardry here. Getting back to this game and the importance of it.
Right. I'm
genuinely surprised that we're in this position. I didn't expect that we would be talking about iBUYPOWER winning so convincingly. I actually thought they might win on Dust 2 because they have been playing very well on it. But
even if they'd done marginally well on Dust 2, they would
16,
still
12,
even still have a
16,
chance
14.
in this situation. Like exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
but 16-3.
Yeah. It's
and Swag dropped a 30 bomb.
Yeah, 30 to 6. That's Swag.
Yeah, it was more than that. I think it was ridiculous.
It was unfair. It was so. I mean, Steel didn't even get a chance to get any. It's usually
got
Steel only got 5 kills.
Yeah, but he only
He's
died
not
5
doing,
times
yeah,
as well.
Exactly. Steel's not doing well. No, actually.
Didn't see anything at all. No one came anywhere near him. They're like, we're not going anywhere near that Steel guy. He was on fire yesterday. No, not going near him. Don't want to touch him.
That's the horrible thing. You had a similar experience with was it Warclown recently?
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
that not the same thing?
No,
You're
it
like,
was. It was
so wait,
exactly the same thing.
Everyone's
yeah.
dead already. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
I think I finished the match with like 9 frags or something in the entire game. We played almost the entire match as well, and he had like 46 kills or something stupid. It was ridiculous when you're playing with great players.
Report
like that.
Warclown.
Yeah, Warclown definitely needs reporting.
Reported.
I don't quite know what the. Apparently they're restarting. Okay, so they're going to restart the server right now, and then we'll get back into it. So we've got a few minutes to talk about the tournament itself as well, because it has been a very interesting couple of days for me.
I love
having been
it.
away from the commentary side, and I want to clear this up. A lot of people yesterday sent me some really lovely comments, and some sent some very bad comments, and that's fine. You're entitled to your opinions.
Sorry about that.
But also, stop doing it. Stop trolling. But also, I wanted to clear something up. Someone said yesterday he didn't do too badly for his first day, but. We've got Cloud9 players pushing on the glass now. Oh, that's nice. Sean Garris writing a heart on the window.
He's full of love.
Into the commentary box. Yesterday there was a few comments, people saying he didn't do too badly considering he hasn't done any Counter-Strike in a couple of years. Well, I watch Counter-Strike all the time. I still follow the teams. I still play the game ridiculously.
Wait, you're not just a Dota 2 guy? StarCraft?
I'm surprised you didn't go for StarCraft first, really. I really am. I mean, I love StarCraft. I love Dota 2. Nothing wrong with loving esports.
Unless it's the wrong esport.
Is there such a thing as the wrong esport?
I don't know, but that's what people go with all the time.
Okay, yeah. Now, I am an esports guy, I admit it, but I've been doing Counter-Strike for a good 10 plus years, and, love the game. Love the scene.
I mean, it's really weird, actually, for us as well, because we've both been around in the competitive scene, just playing or being involved in some way since like 2000, and Red Eye before that period as well.
Yeah, 1837 for me.
1837.
Yeah, we used to do esports in black and white.
Really? What was the thing then?
Well, we didn't have scoreboards and stuff.
Was it still MOBAs?
We had Abacus to add up the rounds, but no, it was basically just rock paper scissors back then. That was the esport.
Rock paper scissors is really
underrated. I mean, the meta in RPS has changed dramatically over the years. Yeah. It's more rock based these days, but it used to be back in the day. It used to be very paper.
Well, paper was very, very new and upcoming. People only just figured out.
Yeah. No, I think I was ahead of the meta at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. With 3 rock opening was so strong.
But the problem with 3 rock is that
Dan's like, what are we talking about right now?
He's like, you're not supposed to take it this far.
If you've just tuned in, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the European Championship Rock Paper Scissors Championship with myself and DDK. We're just waiting for the 2 sets of players to get back on the server so that we can bring you this final group game of Rock Paper Scissors and see who advances on to the semi-finals.
I'm more a fan of Rock Paper Knife Grenade.
Right, that's a bit more of an updated version. Have you played the Korean version of RPS, by the way? It's kind of similar, but it's funnier.
I was going to say, this is actually serious now.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I haven't. Okay. Wait, are we serious? Is it?
No. There's a Korean version of it. I watched the StarCraft players playing it. I couldn't tell you the rules, but it looks funny whenever there's like 8 of them around a thing, and they all do the same thing at the same time.
Right.
And you're just like, whoa, this is like multiplayer RPS.
Did they teach you, or you just?
No,
I
didn't feel like I could interrupt.
You experience it vicariously through.
Yeah, and then what happens is whoever loses buys dinner.
Really? Yeah. They do that a lot, actually. They do that all the time, and it's always like chicken, isn't it? Like a rotisserie chicken or something. Yeah. Which I think that's fantastic.
Korean barbecue. And then the youngest cooks. It's you pick up these things as you go along with Koreans. Quite funny.
I could have benefited from being in a Korean pro house because I never had much of a motivation to cook.
Okay.
Even though I do really enjoy it. I only enjoyed it when I was living in Italy and I could drink wine at the same time, and I was like, wait, this is a good thing now. But I had to combine it with some other activities to make it fun. Otherwise, it's boring for me.
Yeah, I only drink water.
You only cook water?
I only drink water.
Oh, you drink? Well, actually,
water?
I think that water has become a caster currency.
Yeah.
I would give a lot of money for water. No, does that make sense?
Right now I would. It's like gold dust round
I
here.
would.
It
yeah.
really is.
This is like we've been mistreated.
It's the only water left in the entire building. I'm protecting it with my life. The ASUS PC over here is looking after it for me.
But the problem is you got your back to Scott right now, and little do you know that it's already long gone.
Really?
And the funny thing is that I was planning to say that, but actually it was actually happening as well. Scott just drank all of his waters. So Scoots is a menace.
Scumbag Sir Scoots all the time.
He was making it rain yesterday as well, but he was making it rain with nothing, which is really kind of a weird thing to do.
I mean, I've always wondered if I stood on a stream and just went like that, whether someone would turn it into a GIF.
Well, now we're going to find out.
Oh, snap!
I see what you did there. You're very
I'm GIF savvy.
Very forward thinking.
I'm GIF savvy.
Yeah.
That's what I am.
Well, at least
GIF gifts.
Give gifts.
Give
At
gifts.
least I'm happy that I got a new word for those of you that were listening to yesterday's banter when I was talking with James about we're going live back into the match, so we'll have to continue this banter.
What a
later.
shame.
Oh yeah.
What a shame we weren't able to finish that off. Right, the serious stuff begins. iBUYPOWER versus Team Dignitas. Crowd are nicely warmed up here in Milan as well. And a reminder for you at home, iBUYPOWER need just 4 rounds to advance to the semi-final, regardless of whether Dignitas can win the map or not. But Dignitas absolutely have to win the match as well.
All right. It's a very slow start. Swag on the main and door position as usual. And a flash over. And this is going to allow them to bust through upper. This is going to be very chaotic very soon.
A nice push from dupreeh. He's managed to get to the volcano stairs already. DaZeD has opened things up though. And with that plant, iBUYPOWER caught a little short here, I think. Now, short range for Swag. That'll be easy to pick up the frag on device. Now, 5v3, but that bomb planted has caused them some issues. Xyp9x now inside the toxic room as well, hiding. And pops round the corner, and still Skadoodle can combine and pick one up. dupreeh, now last man standing, has got to try and hold on to this bomb. The bomb gets defused at the same time. He managed to get the bomb diffuser, and is that going to be diffused in time? There's no kit! There's no kit!
Wow.
Oh my goodness! And dupreeh has won the round for Dignitas, 1v4, with killing just one man. It was perfectly placed. What a stunning set of shots.
Oh, that was a beautiful strategy too. I mean, they had all the right grenades in the right places. They hit the timings well, and they combined well down secret, and you just got the bomb down straight away. It was a beautiful round there from Dignitas. Obviously, the focus wasn't on the frags there, and just absolutely gorgeous stuff. As we are going to see them actually give themselves and their fans hope.
Wow!
In this seemingly impossible situation.
It absolutely is. They really, I mean, starting T-side, I've seen teams win 12, 13 rounds on T-side. It's not impossible, of course, but it's blooming difficult.
It's very, very rare.
But they've given themselves the perfect start after they really shouldn't have been able to, because iBUYPOWER had a 5v3 and then a 4v1 and still somehow managed to contrive to lose the round. dupreeh's monstrous shot on the bomb diffuser. Good shot from Swag in the middle of that. Device, though, disposing of him, and they've dropped 2, make that 3. Device is only on 1 point of health now, and suddenly this swings round, and iBUYPOWER now have the advantage. Incredible. That 5-7 doing work from Steel once more. Skadoodle now versus FeTiSh and Device, but Device who's 1 point of health. Tense ending to the round. Skadoodle picks up the headshot onto FeTiSh. It's 1v1, and Device, well, it's 1v1v1 right now, because Device literally has 1 point of health. It's like a sliver, a fingernail. That's all that needs to be tapped here by Skadoodle, and he's going to be able to pick it up surely. But Device round the back. Oh my goodness! So close, yet so far. The smiles come out from Steel, and iBUYPOWER move to within 3 of a spot in the semi-finals.
Still looks smug right there. That was a smug grin, just a glimpse of it.
Well, I thought Swag looked smug. I think he should change his name in game to Smug7, not Swag7.
Well, God, absolutely gutting there for Dignitas, no doubt about it.
I mean, in a weird way, it kind of balances up with what we saw in the first round, because they really shouldn't have lost that first round, iBUYPOWER.
But they
had no right to win that round.
This is all about grit and determination. It's not even about Counter-Strike necessarily now for Dignitas. They have to dig deep. They have to dig deep.
Oh, they are going to have to dig massively still with 2 in a row with the Max 7. That short-range shotgun is absolutely deadly. aizy, though, at short range this time picks off DaZeD in vent. Can't get a second one. Swag locking him down. 4v2. Advantage with iBUYPOWER here. dupreeh and FeTiSh now. iBUYPOWER would need just 2 more rounds after this. And we might as well finish the game. At that point. No point in carrying on afterwards. dupreeh with FAMAS. Well, he's going to drop down behind him, and Swag, well, he won't pick up many easier kills than that, that's for sure. aizy came with the last one. FAMAS at the top of ladder on FeTiSh. It's 2-1, but more importantly, it's T-2 rounds for iBUYPOWER.
Oh, it's Dignitas. Like I said, I just made this point, but it's so much down to how, like, them not feeling the pressure and not. I mean, might even be hard for them. Usually they succumb to it, but they have to believe right now, because iBUYPOWER are going to be playing so confident and so loose and so dangerous.
Oh my goodness! On fire through hut. FeTiSh's drop down. Still's going to pick another one up. Swag in. DaZeD steal again. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful play by iBUYPOWER. They're like little cygnets that have grown into great swans right now. iBUYPOWER just 1 round away from a spot in the semi-finals.
The best thing
at a non-American LAN, I might add.
They're basically playing for the draw and on the rounds and the next map now. But they would have to win oh my God, it's
every round. They have to win 15 straight. There is no room for error now for Dignitas. It's almost hopeless. They won't give up just yet. Zipnik's then picked off by Skadoodle. dupreeh replying back. 4 men remain. 4 men between a place in the semi-final for iBUYPOWER. They've also lost Swag, but not Swagger. They know it's coming. FeTiSh, well, nothing out of the Deagle was any good for him. Steel's going to pick up another one. 2 men remain. Make that 1. Last man standing is Device, and he goes down to DaZeD. And iBUYPOWER have 4 rounds on the board. It's enough to take them through to the semi-final.
What an impossible situation for Dignitas. It's just, oh, how they must feel. Can you even imagine it? I don't think anyone could put themselves in their position right now. And I mean, you can see it on their faces.
Yeah, massive disappointment for Dignitas, but they have been massively disappointing. There's no way around that. They were poor yesterday against Fnatic. They were poor in the first game against iBUYPOWER this morning. And they've been poor in this second map so far as well, despite a nice piece of individual skill from dupreeh and a little bit of luck as well. But it really hasn't been their tournament. It really hasn't. I don't want to tempt fate, but I wonder if they're even considering some changes after this.
Something they have to consider something. We have another major coming up very soon, of course.
Yep.
And
DreamHack is not too far away already.
And a result like this certainly should stir change. If nothing else, they have to look at this event and say, okay, guys, something's not going in the way that we.
I mean, there might be all sorts of other issues going on this weekend.
That's true.
You know, there could be illness. There could be. I don't think any jet lag from Denmark, but you know, they could have had bad flights.
Yeah, exactly.
They could have had bad sleep. I mean, there's all sorts of. I don't want to call them excuses, but there's all sorts of reasons that contribute to a team playing poorly. It's not always that the team aren't working. That said, it hasn't looked like the team are working.
That's very true. I mean, the one notable difference, though, which was surprising, is that usually they are very strong in the groups. Yeah. And they're
usually very strong on specific maps that we've seen them. They're usually strong on Nuke. They're usually strong on Dust too.
They're very well rounded. They have great individual skill and execution as well. It's just that so many teams have, variety of different problems. For Dignitas, it's mainly been just actually handling pressure. And whether or not it was the case in this iBUYPOWER match, I don't know. But the weak result against Fnatic leaves something to be questioned, as typically you would have seen a much closer result there, I think.
I'm not sure if we're going to wrap this up right now. I don't think there's a huge amount of point in playing on, is there? I don't know if maybe they have to because of the rules, but there's not really much point in us continuing to cover this because it's irrelevant now. Absolutely irrelevant. So
yeah, I'm very curious to see the general thoughts as well as we get into the analyst desk in a bit of time. And Thorin, he's been one to put on the burns. He's very well known for that. But right now they're just playing for just some end salvation.
Well, it has been pointed out to me, of course, that they might just have to play this out because of the betting.
Oh right,
because the game's got bets on.
That is very true.
They probably do have to play out the game.
Of course.
Which is a bit unfortunate for us because
we completely we're kind of, when you're at the event, you kind of forget about that stuff sometimes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to find out whether they actually do have to. I mean, they might have to continue. We don't necessarily have to continue covering it, I guess, but I guess those at home that have put bets on and what have you probably need to see a conclusion to the match. Otherwise, the game will be removed. I mean, it's one of the byproducts of the fact that we've got this rule system about the head-to-head. It kind of makes it pointless, I suppose. But
it's
pointless in the concept of the actual event and the tournament itself. There's no point in covering the rest of the rounds or playing on. But of course,
there is a lot of other processes.
Yeah, for those of you that have bet on the game, I can absolutely see why we should carry on. Not that it's going to be particularly inspiring for Dignitas to play for you, as it were. So I hope your bets were on iBUYPOWER.
Yeah,
because either way round right now, it's not good for Dignitas.
But on a more interesting note, how do you feel that iBUYPOWER are going to progress through the tournament now that they have shown a result like this? Do you think this is going to put a bit of a spring in their step, give them a bit of the big mo?
I already thought that they came into this much better than they've done before. We've always seen Cloud9 do better when they've come to these international tournaments. I think Steel identified that they needed to add some scrappy strats to their standards, which they've done, and they've shown us that they've done.
Yeah.
I think yesterday there was a little bit of unfortunate timing and luck, as also a couple of small bad plays in amongst what they did with Fnatic, but they were close matches. Let's not forget that. They were within a few rounds of winning both maps and should have won Inferno, absolutely, and may have even deserved to have won Dust 2 as well. So I don't think they were far away yesterday. I think there was just a couple of things in their play that maybe they needed to iron out, some kinks if you like, and then just play tighter towards the end, and that's exactly what they did against Dignitas in the first round, in the first match they played them. So I'm not sure that they're the scrappy insurgency that we expected them to be. I actually think they're the genuine article. I actually think they could end up going the whole way here. Dignitas getting a cheer for clutching the round. Nicely played by FeTiSh,
the drill sergeant.
And they're 2-6 down right now on T side. Just a reminder for you, if you are joining in and wondering why we're not really commentating too much, it's mainly because this game is now irrelevant. iBUYPOWER have the 4 rounds they needed. They are through to the semi-finals, and Dignitas will go out in the group stage for the first time in a long time.
Absolutely. Usually they look so strong in the groups. I'd like to see how they. I'm sure that they will be talking about this event in the near future and give everybody their thoughts of how things went, where things went wrong. It's going to be very interesting to hear from them, where things really went wrong. But on a more interesting note, we have, it looks like we will be going to LDLC and iBUYPOWER. That's the next match that iBUYPOWER have now. And LDLC have thus far looked like the strongest team. And the interesting thing, and a point I wanted to make, is that the way iBUYPOWER are actually playing on Dust 2 was they were actually taking a lot of risks. And the thing is that in Counter-Strike, risks are essential. Risks are absolutely essential. You're always taking risks. It's about making risks safe and taking it at the right time, not overstepping it. I feel like, though, they were almost being a bit extortionate at times, because they were going through some of these plays that did seem a little bit exploitable, but Dignitas, they just were always a step behind. They weren't quite able to punish. If they were iBUYPOWER playing, let's say, NIP, a team that is always ready for everything when it comes to aggression, then they are going to be losing a lot of those situations. Their money will get broken very quickly, and it could very well have been a good read, a good strategy that they applied. And they've researched all the teams they're playing against. That's another beauty of this tournament.
Okay, so iBUYPOWER, we're going to leave that game where it is right now. That's going to continue playing out. The match will continue until one team has won 16. Just so all your bets are confirmed one way or the other. Hope you've put money on iBUYPOWER because they look very strong right now. But just to confirm once again, iBUYPOWER actually are right now through to the semi-finals and will play LDLC in that semi-finals. The winner of Cloud9 and Virtus.pro, which is still playing out right now. Unfortunately, we can't get to that game. It would be nice if we could actually jump into that one, but unfortunately, we can't get to it from where we are. They're going to continue playing out. The winner of that will play Fnatic in the semi-finals. So, yeah, okay. Well, unfortunately, we can't do that. We can't go to Cloud9.
Well,
which is a real shame, because I would like to see where they are right now. But I tell you what we'll do instead. We'll go for a quick break, and I will then run round and find out what's going on. We'll see you in a few.